Look how excited I am. We didn't make it 1 mile. What is up, guys? We are back in the shop. Last week, Juan was on fire starting his bike every single day. It looks like you still have been running into a little bit of an issue. So it looks like you disconnected your fuel line and you're testing your petcock. And how has that been, Juan?
Well, I actually just tested it this morning. I had to make a lot of changes. I customized this fuel shutoff valve. It wasn't closing all the way in. Now I get it to close, but it still binds up a little bit.
Okay.
That was big because it wasn't closing and the float wasn't set right. So there was just a lot going on, but I think I got one situation taken care of.
Okay, so what do we got going, dude?
I just need to reconnect this fuel line here.
Looks like the fuel's not leaking right now.
Well, there's none in there. So let's get this guy going here.
I'll open up the shop so you don't smoke us out. Dang it, dude. All right, well, I was really hoping to start this vlog off with Juan's bike fired up because technically his bike does run and it runs pretty well. He already rode it. How many miles did you say? 11 miles.
Dude. I zeroed that out.
He's keeping track. Last vlog, we started tearing into my bike. As you can see, front head is off. We've got the cylinder covered up to block it from any dust. But we decided that since we're gonna do this one, we're gonna do the rear cylinder. So we're gonna pull off the rear head. We're gonna match the gaskets up, rear ring, piston, try to get this bike fresh top end before we put her back together. So that is the goal for the day. See if we can get that done and then get this thing road ready like we did once and hopefully have these things running side by side by the end of the week. That's the goal, dude. I believe
it. I have faith in us.
All right, let's do it. All right, I wanted to show you guys a couple of things that we ordered last week so we could get this job done. So these were the cork and metal rocker box covers that was recommended to us from our friend Butch. The tranny was leaking, so we have the 4th gear seal. We bought a honing tool to the measurement of these cylinders. And we even bought some special tools like the main shaft seal remover and installer from our friends over at V-Twin. We had to buy some tools. We had to buy some of the right pieces to continue on this job. Here we go, let's do it. All right, I have to get the muffler off to then get the rear head off. All right, slow down. I was gonna say get the head off and then it'll just like come off real easy.
This is something to really evaluate.
How it gets back in there?
Yeah.
If we want to put it back?
Yeah.
We've been contemplating this the whole time. We're really not gonna leave the bikes this way for the term of the lifetime that we have them. I'm not gonna run this dual exhaust system, and so we're like, man, are we really doing all this work and gonna put it back together? Or should we get the headers that you really want and put the ones you really want on there? As you can see, we're stuck. So there's that mount that we already took off. Running into that as we try to...
But we don't want to have to pull the head again to do your exhaust. That's...
Yeah. All right, we just learned something. What did we learn, Juan?
This rear head pipe is not coming out without pulling the head off.
So we've got this thing, it winds up and over there, and we're hitting this as we try to articulate it. Maybe we can finesse it, but see how it's hitting right there?
Yeah.
You're already damaging, not damaging, but you're already pulling on the exhaust kind of manifold on there. So that's something that we have to pay attention to, because like Juan says, if we put this head back on it, the exhaust needs to be in place. But then it's like, do we want to do that knowing at some point this exhaust is going to change? Or do we get our hands on the exhaust?
Hop on Marketplace or something and find one that comes off without having to take the heads off.
Yeah, one that can come off from this side. Might not be fully built today, but at least maybe the engine will be. All right, heads off. Still a tight fit, bud. Okay, so that's the trick. You could slide it through that way.
Even with the head on?
I think you could have. We were stuck in a puzzle and we weren't.
But the real question, are you gonna put it back on or?
I mean, technically if the head was on, you could go slide it in. It would be clearing right now. I think it spooked us and we got stuck like mentally. I don't want to run this system, but I think in terms of getting it back on the road, you know, as close to how we picked them up, I think it would be cool. Okay, what's next, Juan?
Pull the jugs off.
Wanna play with the jugs? He goes, not on the vlog, not on the vlog. I'm like, nah, dude, you're gonna try to start it?
All right. Travis, don't put this in there.
All right, so now that Juan's bike doesn't start anymore, back on this bike, we're about to pull the cylinders off. Oh, uh-oh.
It's not the end of the world, and it smooths it out.
What do you think that's from?
Definitely ate something. But again, we're gonna clean this up. The rule of thumb is if it doesn't catch your nail, generally okay. No, I think we're good. This is the rear.
Do we just order pistons at the same time?
It's not hard to do.
Yeah, just like let's put it back together and run it. Yeah.
If you get 1,000 miles, you're gonna run it for a while. It's fine. Yeah, later on we could order new pistons and redo it. Especially now that we have all the tools, we'll know the measurements and all the stuff.
Front cylinder. From this side, it looks cleaner than that one in terms of like that big gouge.
I think we're gonna put it together and it's gonna run fine. When we were ordering stuff, let's order new sets. I think we could use these right now, but we're gonna do a whole lot of cleaning. I 3D printed this tool. So when we're gonna measure the gap, we'll drop the new rings in here. This is gonna put them at the right height. We'll be able to measure the gap, check. It should be between 10 and 20 thou. That's what this manual says. We're gonna hone them, but first we're gonna clean. I just wanna get this carbon buildup off. Clean the sealing surfaces, both top and bottom. Get these old gaskets off. All right, so we got a lot of the carbon buildup off. We got the sealing surfaces pretty cleaned up, top and bottom. We got two options. We could either start honing or we could clean the top of the pistons. Both will have to be done. Cross hatching looks pretty good. I don't know if you guys could see that in there. Give it a little bit more and I think we'll move on to gapping the rings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna have to reevaluate these, but these are not within spec. Let's get a better measurement now that these are off, figure out what rings we need.
You're really good at that, dude.
Yeah, dude. All right.
Like 3/4 throttle, it's about 600 RPM.
Yeah.
And then you wanna like up and down and just don't leave it in one spot.
Yeah.
Just I'd give it another go.
Juan, give me your opinion.
I mean, it's a stock diameter piston. I guess let's check the...
Let's look at the manual. I don't know what we left off on the last time I picked this camera up, but what we realized is that the rear cylinder and piston are 10 over and the front is standard. And so what happened was we ordered standard size rings and the rings weren't matching up for the rear cylinder. They were matching up for the front, but then that got us thinking like, do we want to assemble it with one having the bigger piston in the rear and the stock one in the front? Do we want to make them both 10 over? Do we want to make them 20 over? Do we want to get these? Are these original cylinders? Do we want to get these bored out, machined? What do we want to do? Make up our minds. We're also trying to be quick with these decisions. And we don't make these decisions quite often here. So we were like, what do we do? What do we do? For now, I think, is going with a set of aftermarket cylinders and pistons that are standard size, ready to go. Then that way we can get the bike back on the road. And then we can think about, all right, what pistons do we want to run on this? Wiseco pistons, what compression, what size? Maybe get these reworked, maybe paint them the original black they're supposed to be, or do we leave them silver and kind of crusty like this? If these are original cylinders, it is worth keeping and it is worth rocking and rolling, but it may take us longer to get this bike on the road to be able to enjoy it. So we're at a little bit of like we gotta think about this for a couple more hours. While we're doing that, we're gonna go ahead and get the tires swapped out. We also have the primary open, so we are going to go ahead and try to replace the 4th gear seal, place the primary, put some fresh tires on it, get ready for a new chain, and get this all buttoned up while we're thinking about that and possibly waiting for some more parts to show up. All right, we're all tripping out right now. What are you thinking, dude?
Dude, that's sick. It's got a built-in stand. Where is this on the stunt bikes?
So we just put the stand to use. Look, it's off all of its weight on this thing. Ready for a tire change, bro.
That's rad.
And technically, if this bumper wasn't there, you just lift this fender up and you could, oh, we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it right now. So one of the things that we noticed, this is like kind of cool. We see them on the internet, but this one's broken. It came broken. It is broken right there. It is fixable possibly, but right now it's being held on by a zip tie. So we'll try to fix that. We'll try to fix that weld.
Yep, corn.
All right, there it is. Now I wonder if it should be like snugged up. It's quite loose.
Oh yeah, look at the...
We don't know what we're looking for to know if this is original or not.
It would for sure say made in USA, and
You think so?
I would guess it's from the 50s. I've got an original parts and accessory page from 1955, and this was on there.
No, not nearly as bad.
I'm pulling the fourth gear seal out. We're gonna put a new one in it so it stops leaking.
Nice.
A little bit. It's gonna keep leaking because these things leak. Check that out. It's nice having the right tool. That's
Yeah,
for
it is.
sure.
How we doing over there, Jack?
Tires, not rubber.
You're looking stressed out. What's up?
I'm not stressed.
Well, what did you just say?
This thing is not rubber anymore. Look at this thing. That thing is...
It's
Wow.
hard plastic. So would you say it's a good thing we're changing them out, or you think?
I think you got a couple more burnouts in these, but...
I mean, this says 00-2. Are they from 2000? I mean, 2000, that would still be a 26-year-old tire.
It's older than me. Come
Nice
on,
work, dude.
Come-
What do you think? A 16 is harder than a 21, or?
The smaller the tire, the harder. When we did the pit bike tires, to date, the pit bike tire was the hardest tire.
That's a little 12-inch.
This is something I learned after pinching about 19 of your guys' tubes.
All right, what'd you learn?
You got a filler over there.
That way she don't get all twisted up in there.
Bunch of soap. That way it won't catch on the spoon
Got a
or the
little
machine.
tape on it.
Oh, it'd go like this.
For those of you guys that want to join Jack's tire installation school, come back here on Sundays. All right, Jack, what did we learn?
Have you ever seen a rusty tire before, dude?
So the tube is crusty. You took it apart. Look at that.
the valve
Barnacles,
stem
dude. Looks
snapped
like it's
off.
been in the ocean. The valve stem. So would it have been safe to ride this?
Sure, a couple hundred years ago. Oh,
This one's a little crusty, dude. Yeah, clean her up. You said that Dale texted you and said that he bought these bikes that we're taking apart, never rode them.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
never started them.
Well, he said he would have never been able to get them going. So I interpreted that as he never rode them.
So I think some of these bikes that we've gotten off of Dale recently, all the way from the shovel to the FXRT to these pans, I think these were later on in his life. Like he might still own the one bike that he rode a lot of places, but I think these bikes he started collecting just out of the pleasure of collecting. I don't think he ever rode or started them.
Remember the FXR? He said he rode it home and that was it.
Yeah.
From the dealership.
Yeah,
What-
20 to 30 years of a bike sitting.
And yeah, like unfortunately they still, you know, had fluids in them and stuff, and it wasn't like prepared for long-term storage.
Exactly. It's a lot more down than we
All
thought.
right, are you sure you want to put it back? See how we started?
I know,
Or
we're
you wanna let's just.
We're sitting here like,
We're like
dude, we could
5
just chop
bolts
her.
away from. We put the front end on. We do this. We got it right.
I think they deserve a couple rides stock, but. So you got that sealed up.
Yeah. Do you want to do this one?
I mean, did it look like it was leaking?
It looks like everything is leaking.
Well, one wheel's done, second wheel's getting done,
All right.
sealed up. What happened?
the rim strip on this thing has actually petrified. Look at this thing.
Put a towel down.
Pushed away. Stuck.
I feel like I'm mining for dinosaur bones, dude.
All right, here goes primary time. All sealed up, fresh hardware, new 24 tooth sprocket. There was a 23. We want this bike to cruise a little bit more for the highways. They won. There we go. There we go.
Worked pretty good. Look, Lance's bike's already leaking. Haven't even started it, dude. Dude, look, this thing's just flaking off.
All right, she's going back together. Just need to get one started. All right, guys, we have the primary together, made some progress. What we found is that these are two different pistons. You can see the way this is held in. Right here, I've already started to pull it apart. Juan's been working on this one. They are two different pistons. This one did have markings on it from something getting eaten up. And then as we measured it, we realized that this one was 10 thou over and this one was standard. So we couldn't use the ring set that we bought to try to re-ring it because we would have needed different rings for this one, different ones for that one. We decided to get our hands on a new set of cylinders that are black. That is what OEM would have been, and a new set of standard OEM pistons. We're gonna go back to stock because we are here, and for the fun of it, if we feel like reworking those cylinders and putting it back together another way with different pistons, forged pistons or something, we can do that. We're gonna get it running with basically OEM replacement, standard style pistons. It's held in a little bit differently than the one Juan's working on, so.
Yeah, that one looks like it.
Press fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There it is.
It's gonna be hot. So.
Drop it, it's gonna be good. Yep. I mean, the piston will come out now.
This is the rear one. As you can see the stamping on there, 10. It's 10 over. But like Lance said earlier, it's different style. Clip. Bonnie. I don't know. It's definitely not OEM.
Well, let's try to get the front one off and see what the front one
The
reads.
front one is a slip fit, which I like those more. Fine.
Now we gotta get the clip out. I feel like I need safety glasses,
Nah,
so I'm on
you're
the other
good.
side.
Perfect.
All right, this one's
This
coming out
one-
easy.
Yeah, that's
Watch.
there it is.
Oh, this one has the other brand too. Bonnewell.
It's crazy how it's the same brand, but they still have two different styles of.
Yeah. Bornwell?
But also, Bonerwell.
Yeah, what's...
This is a 10 over,
Yeah.
but look how much more wear it has. Like, look at that to
Yeah.
that.
This one seems pretty good. 2216055.
2216073. Okay, I still want to check the rings. We'll check the rings. We'll get it all pre-assembled, everything nice and lubed.
All right, so we want it between 10 and 20 thou. That's what the manual says. I've got it at 15 right now. It's tight. I'm able to get it in there, but it's tight. I think we're good, but I'll do it at 10. 10, I can get it in there. A little bit of wiggle room. Move her up before she goes in, huh?
Yeah. We just need to make sure we have enough of it nice and in there, dude. This looks like a fueling end. Oh. Right, now that it's lubed up, let's go put the ring compressor on here. Now.
All right, it's 11:30. We got the pistons and cylinders on. We did a little bit of work to the heads, checked the gaskets, installed some of the dampening material on them. But it's been a long day. What time you wake up, Juan?
I woke up at 6, hit the gym this morning.
I hit the gym too, brother. Still here 11:30, but we're calling it a night because
Honestly, if we started this tomorrow, we wouldn't even gotten this far.
yeah, we were like, should we stay after work? Yeah, let's put a night in tonight. We're happy we did because we put like, what's like 5 or 6 hours in.
But it was like also when everyone else is here, we're like helping everyone out. So
Yeah.
it's tough to just concentrate, take our time.
Yeah.
We weren't in a rush.
We got some work to do still.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do it tomorrow.
I think we can get the heads on, carb, tank. Yeah, I think we might be able
Fire
to
up.
start it tomorrow.
All right, wish us luck.
Fingers crossed.
What's up? We're back. 9 a.m. the next day. I got 5 hours of sleep last night.
Why did you put the coupler in on?
That's so dope. All right, so we've been cleaning the head surfaces, and now we are checking the valves. Got some gasoline, and we are blowing some air at the valves. Look at that. OEM 56 front, dude.
How's your rear look like? Pretty good.
Front cylinder's looking good. Looks like you got a little bit more work to do though, dude. Look at mine. Rear cylinder head. I mean, a little bit of air, but again, I don't know. Luke was like, fill them up with gas, blow some air at the valves, and if it bubbles, that means you need a valve job.
I don't know if the camera saw it, but we got some bubbles.
I think we're still throwing it together. But now we know maybe what we need to fix next time, or?
Yeah, I mean, okay, here's the fix that we're probably not running today. We need to go buy a spring compressor and lapping compound. Obviously, they were running before.
We also know that this rear head is not OEM. It doesn't have the markings on it, and it has like the outside oiler standoff. So I think it's a repop. I'm not a full guru on these, but from what I do know, I think that's true. So I did get my hands on some other heads that are OEM. So I almost think we throw this on, we get this bike running, and we rebuild some OEM heads and throw those on the bike later down the road. If these heads could talk, they might have eaten some bolts or something.
I ate some stuff for sure.
How's this one looking?
This one's not as bad as yours, but
they both have HD valves in them. All right, they're cleaned up. Surfaces are cleaned up. We got some carbon out of them. Looks like I might have done a little bit more of a
well, this one's
job.
This was a factory real head from '56. This one could only be like 5 or 6 years old.
What do you guys think, dude? Does that thing beat? But if I flip it, look, is this repop?
But see, look, let me show you something. If you go look at a real bike over here, you could see that's my front. You could see the numbers, and my rear also has them. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but they're in there. In the real location.
And the location is the one that faces outside of the engine.
Yeah.
My rear one, it would be facing on the top, which you wouldn't even see once the bike's assembled. Let's see if our top end job is good. It's go time. Or I'm cutting that thing out. Like a glove. We're screwed because it's gonna hit the head until it gets down. Let's try this again. It has to kind of be down, otherwise you're never gonna get it back down, you know?
I think that's fine.
I'll just hold this out of the way.
Yeah. All right, hold it down. There we go. Now the pipe will work. All right, front head going on. What do they say? Work smarter, not harder. I don't want to be in that. Look at that, dude. Two-piece drive shaft. All right, it's Friday, 4:14. We've got the cylinders and heads, exhaust back on both sides. We're plugging away. We're about to do the manifold, the carburetor, the push rods, gas tank, and hopefully fire her up. It has been a wild 36 hours, but the engine is buttoned up. Jack came in the last hour and helped out a little bit. Say hi, Jack.
What's happening?
Juan, you're buttoning up some of the spark plug wires. So if you guys remember, we did tires, we checked the brakes, we did a new chain, we checked the primary, we changed the 4th gear seal out. We did a whole new top end, cylinders, pistons, rings. We cleaned the heads, also put different gaskets and one of these silencers. Well, they'll have these like silencers in the rocker box covers to hopefully alleviate the noise that we were hearing. That is the whole reason why we opened it up. And then the reason why we did the rings is because we realized the pistons were 2 different sizes when we opened it, and there was a lot of damage in there.
Get ourselves familiar with these
exactly.
bikes. I think we learned a lot. Honestly, I'm stoked. I'm stoked seeing the bike. I mean, with the black cylinders, it's super cool. I wanted to do that, and we redid some stuff like the manifold gaskets. I mean, we did it earlier, now we redid it again, and the second time it was so much faster, smoother. Came together good. I'm super fired up.
But let's not forget, when we started this whole project, we took the tank to get the bladder taken out and the rust taken out. That's been done, but we're gonna start it again on the baby bottle before we put that on, just in case we need to work on the engine. And let's cross our fingers that the bike starts and runs better than it did the last time.
Hey, you're gonna have to be easy on it. We're breaking it in again. It's that new pistons, new rings, new cylinders, so you have to take it easy, brother.
Fire it up, just do like a little heat cycle.
I would, yeah, fire up, do a little heat cycle, turn it off. Probably do that a couple of times. We'll put the tanks on, maybe you can put it around the block. Are we gonna take them to our destination?
Yeah, the goal is that we're riding these things side by side before the end of this vlog. I'm very excited. Lack of sleep.
With this, it does.
Let's see. All right, lights are on. Okay, so we know it's getting juice. Oh, dude, it was just smoking.
This is when you turned it off.
Right there.
Okay,
Oh.
unplug that. It could be some of this stuff.
This orange one goes in here. That actually goes back. I mean, is it
Oh, there's a wire there that's probably getting pinched.
like on the...
Behind the coil, did you see the wire? It needs to like follow a specific...
I see it now. Yeah, it is that one.
All right, what's the reason she was smoking?
All right, so we chased the wire from here down here, and we realized that this was touching the oil bag. Lights are on, and it's not smoking. Is it smoking?
Yeah.
Again? The hell, dude.
It looked like it was coming from under the cover.
As long as we give power to the coil, the bike will start. I don't know, it's one of these guys.
All right, it's been figured out, but if you guys can see this, I don't know how well it's focusing. That's just bare wire right there.
Happening all
That's
over. Show 'em on the front.
bare wire right there. It looks like a rat got to him. And there's a lot of metal showing throughout these. We're almost there. It already has more compression than the first time. Like, I could just tell.
Oh.
Yeah, is the valve train sound louder?
Now we could hear the valves. Before we could just hear the tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
I think we could double check the adjustment.
Yeah.
It's got compression for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
All right, tank's on. The petcock and the gas tank seems to be sealed so far. Lines are ran. We are now going to try and fire her up. Cooler now, you can touch the cylinders, so gone through a heat cycle. So let's give her another heat cycle. All right, petcock's wide open. Oh. Rough.
All right, look.
Dude, my legs are pumped up right now.
Yeah. Oh!
4 hours later.
And the oil circle.
Yeah. All right, I'm getting excited.
What do we got? That thing sounds pretty good, like the tuning wise. Muffler that Lance put on, I think he put the clamp on the wrong way and that's why it slipped out. And it's really loose, I think it's rattling right now. Hopefully we go on a ride in this vlog. Super stoked on this thing, guys. It was a little bit of a stressful day today. Hearing it fire up, seeing it run, it's freaking sick.
What's up?
Hey, it's
I'm a
all
lot more excited after that, dude. I gotta say, Juan and I kept joking the whole way through. That was probably the first top end rebuild I've ever done since GoPed era. It was a little stressful for me, kind of going into the unknown. I'm thankful for Juan for helping me, believe in me, give me advice, talk me through it, let me do a lot of the steps. It's crazy to see it go from that to firing. That was cool. I can't wait to see these things go side by side.
In less than 24 hours. Yesterday, the motor, no pistons, no jugs, nothing.
I just posted it on my story on Instagram.
It's probably still
because
live.
the photos from yesterday are still live.
Yeah.
Because I only started posting at like 9 at night.
Yeah.
5 hours of sleep last night. I didn't get home till like 1 or 2 in the morning. Had to be up at 6 and moving and grooving. We've barely eaten today. I'm just cooked, dude.
Yeah.
But like, I'm so super happy. Time for a cold drink, some dinner. I think we fine tune these things next week. You know, a little fine tuning, check the oil, do a couple things, and I think we try to roll these things side by side. There's oil spills everywhere. Dude, look at this thing. You can see everywhere this bike has been.
Oh my God.
So one thing I noticed when we took it apart last night and we were checking the crank, I looked down into the cases and there was a puddle of oil. I'm
So
sure that
we
thing
can
was
get
sunk.
Yeah. So we need to do that, adjust the screw that oils the primary chain.
We gotta turn that down as much
Yeah.
as possible. On my last bike, I just turned it off. Kitty litter this up, close up shop. All right, what are we working on, Juan?
We are gonna readjust my float bowl so it hopefully stops leaking.
All right, so what I've realized is we have tackled what we believe so far are the major issues. But now it is the last 5 or 10% have to fix before we really take them on the road. Like Juan's float sticking. We've been starting my bike a little bit more often, but we're noticing the timing might be off. So we're gonna check the timing on that bike. Also, we're noticing it spews out a ton of oil when the bike is running. So we ordered check valve setup oiling system. I think the bike is sumping and then it's just pushing oil out when it runs. So we're gonna check the check ball valve and we are going to check the timing on this thing, put the air filter back on. Hopefully that'll make it good enough to ride. I think you had nightmares because maybe that was the bolt mine ate.
Yeah.
When Juan took my air filter off, there's 4 bolts holding the air filter on and 2 of them were missing. He's like, hopefully this didn't go in your engine.
Yeah, that explains a little bit.
All right, where do we have that thing stopping, bro?
The book says
You didn't follow the spec because on the book there's a little bit of a kink to the side.
That's pretty close to the spec.
Did you do the kink to the side? No, but I think even if that's spec, I think you just gotta cheat it. Explain the test to him, Juan.
All right, we're gonna go
We
ahead.
have a beer funnel.
I'm just gonna see the float in action here. Here, look, let me dial you guys in so you can see it.
I have fuel. I have the beer bong.
You have to be higher in level. Yep, you're good. It's gone. It's flowing. Keep going.
See that? It's got fuel coming through. It's going there. Oh, dude, it's overflowing. The float's not even working.
Yeah, see how it's passing the float?
Yeah. Juan's gonna make some adjustments and we are going to see if we can get this float to work properly. All right, take 2. Adjustments have been made and we are now filling the beer bomb. Oh God.
You gotta go higher, bro.
I know, but all right guys, check it out. So it wasn't doing this last time. I don't know if you guys remember, but now the funnel has fuel in it. We are higher in elevation and the fuel is under the float ring now.
Barely.
Barely. It was working. Yeah, I mean, it's up here.
Still holding? Yep, you're pretty good there.
Yeah. All right, I'm thinking new linker rebuild kit. We're gonna look for some extra parts that are laying around, maybe from some takeoff, see if any of those components are worth testing. So basically his float is not sealing up the fuel inlet. All right, I think we got it. 3rd time's a charm. This time we have this aftermarket repop rubber float still.
What the? We got a replacement float with the original valve.
That's what I was gonna get to. We went back to the original valve, which was metal on metal, and it seems to be holding. I got the beer bong full, and it looks like it's holding pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, seems pretty good, dude. Better than the last one was holding.
Not just better, I want it good, dude.
I think it's good. It's not leaking.
Trust you.
All right, put her on the bike and see if it did the trick. We've exposed the linker. Juan is going to open the valve. We're gonna keep an eye on the bowl and hope that it doesn't start pouring out. Pretty empty, brother. No leakage so far. All right, we got some fuel in there. Carb is dry, dude. You gonna throw the air filter on or you wanna fire it up first?
by little, we're fixing the checklist. I think the next thing on mine is oil leak.
Yeah, you're leaking a lot. I mean, there's so many connections too with that. Leaking out of there, leaking out of there. That's it for today.
Are we gonna go for a ride on this vlog?
I don't know.
So I wanted to pull the check valve off and my spring looks
Smoked.
smoked.
Where's the one that we bought? Let's make some room.
There's definitely two different kits for 55 and 56. They are different.
So do you think that's yours?
Yeah. I mean, this part number says up to 55.
All right, so both of our bikes are having leaky oil, excessive leaky oil, and it's not like, it's from the oiler. It's more than it should be.
Yeah, we think it could be something. So it pre-fills the case with oil, and then no matter what your adjustment is here, you already just have a bunch of oil in there.
Yeah, and then it just gets pushed out, and then it gets all over the primary, all over the chain, and it's just like pouring out down the road. So we are going to change our springs, check the ball detent, and hopefully that'll seal them up.
Do you want to try this?
That's what I saw on the internet.
Did it have the hole in his? I think
He just grabbed, yeah, I think they all did.
What did he say?
He said he grabbed the Evo push rod. All right, so we found on the internet, somebody said, so reseating the ball detent, and we saw on the internet, somebody did it with a push rod, put it in, because show them the thing.
So we measured.
But see, this guy used the full length, or is it going at an angle?
I'm just gonna give it a little tap.
All right, this is the ball and the spring that are to seal the oil up. This ball on the end of a push rod is very close in size. So you should be able to hammer that down and reseat.
In theory, I see how it works. I mean, the thing is there. Give it some good wax.
Put it back together and see what happens.
I mean, yeah, failure can't be any worse.
All right, Juan's over there getting his assembled, and so I have to take apart the oil line to get to mine. All right, here we go. Look out, we'll look at my spring. Mine don't look as bad, but I'd be curious to what. Mine doesn't look as messy as yours. That's the spring that came out of my bike. This is the spring that we were able to order. Looks a little stretched out. You can get the ball out. Oil pump has been seated and sealed. The new ball bearing has been dropped in with the new spring, and we are going to go ahead, spinning it in. All right, we're gonna get that tightened up, sealed back up, fire this thing up, and see how the oil pressure is. All right, we're getting official. I put my air filter back on, snug that up a little bit, tighten up the oiler screw, stop it from pouring out as much on the primary. I'm gonna fire this thing up.
About to go put these bikes out on the road. It'll be the first time, probably ever, that they ride together, right? Because they'll rode both at the same time.
Look how excited I am.
Brother.
Like, I'm so excited. My bike's already sitting out there waiting. Possibly the first time these things ever rode side by side. Our goal is to make it to the gas station. 1, 2. Oh, yeah! All right, it's gonna be a little bit harder to ride and film on these.
Looks like we got our first breakdown.
I think it's out of gas. I don't think there's enough gas in it.
I don't want to turn my bike off.
All right, so I was riding, seemed like it was starving for fuel, and the fuel is low. So I'm gonna see if it'll fire up or... But again, it's why would it start, you know? I would just grab the 5 gallon. Can you get this thing started?
That's what I'm scared of.
We didn't make it 1 mile. Bump it. Bump it. Yeah! All right, we'll see what he comes up with. Hopefully it's just gas issues. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's maybe like a ½ inch of fuel in there, but it's under kind of the petcock mechanism. I don't know where the pickup for the fuel is in that. Might not be enough. We're not like that far from the gas station. I feel like we'd already make it. I don't know if you guys can hear too. My chain's rubbing. I need to fix that. All right, I think I've officially pushed the bike further than I have ridden it. It's been a while, and I don't know where Juan is. I waited, and I'm like, I'm gonna start walking. Let's see if this works. I made it close, look. The gas station's right there. I pray this works, because we both rode into work today, and the van's out of town.
Carl, see if you can figure out what's wrong with this thing. It ain't got no gas in it.
It worked, it was the gas.
Yeah, I didn't want to turn my bike off, but it was smoking, so I...
It was?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thankful I was able to start it. Hopefully that's... Fill up this side, let's see what's going on over here. Yep, I can see it right now, filling up. We good now, full tank. My bike took about 3 gallons. Mine has no oil under it, like 2 drops. Yours is dripping. Like bad. I would say because it's dark now and I realize we don't have a way to pick these things up. I'm not taking it through the big loop. I'm not getting stuck out there.
It could be that other one. I didn't put new O-rings in that little one because it was hard to get to, but I think that might be the
culp. I don't want it to stall. Does not work at all, which makes filming a little bit harder. What a sunset to ride into! We made it back. My bike's still running. He's got a little bit more of a leak. You made it, bro. I think it was also a good eye-opener, like, hey, let's not get stuck in the middle of the mountains and no way to make it back, you know?
I think, though, if that wouldn't have happened, we would have...
Okay, my rear brake doesn't work at all the way to the ground, and it just rolls. And I found that out because I was holding the camera.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no.
I was like, in gear, neutral, the clutch, like, it was...
Couple of things to fine-tune. We'll do that over the next couple of days, but then I think we'll actually get to enjoy them. I mean, I'm enjoying them right now.
Yeah, it looks like yours actually did stop leaking.
Yeah, it's not leaking nearly. So the trick we did with there's no oil under there, or it's out of oil.
Yeah.
The oil pump, the ball spring dealio that we did, and turning in my screw on the oil pump on mine worked. Not sure why yours.
I have a new screw, so I'll try, maybe I'll swap out, but that's...
My chain was dragging on my primary and chain guard. I don't know if it's because the chain's too fat or also I gotta put some of those, we're missing some hardware. I gotta feel it when I get like action on the highway. Anytime I get in 3rd gear, I haven't even got to 4th gear. Anytime I get into 3rd, the bike starts to shake. Like either like the headset's loose or like the wheels are super out of balance.
Oh yeah.
But it just like starts to like,
was like yeah. Looking like my front end was wobbling back and forth.
Yeah, we should probably check the front ends just a little bit.
That was cool. It's cool to see both bikes. Of course, we ran out of gas, had to break down. I got here, I got all this stuff, couldn't couldn't start my bike. I'm like,
I wish you had the
push
camera.
I'm gonna push it. I'm like, boom, and it fired right up. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, that's a cool trick.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I was like, what the? You weren't there.
I waited for like 10 minutes and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna
I
start
thought
walking
you're-
this thing.
I don't know if you heard, there was one time it almost started, but it like backfired, like boom, and it echoed. I was like, oh, he for sure heard that.
Still some work to be done, but we made a long way.
Yeah.
We did a whole top end on this thing.
Yeah, can't figure out my oil leak though. What the heck?
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out on this vlog. We learned a lot. We had a lot of fun, scratched our heads a lot, and we're just getting started. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you later.
All right, now let's go see how much Juan's bike.
Don't, bro. Keep my bike out.
Let's
Look
go
how
see.
clean it looks from far. It looks clean as
It looks real clean. I'm like, dude, what's he doing? Let's see. Oh man, it's almost worse, dude.
Well, that's where I parked it last time.
No.